Alright, so what's your name?
Kasey King.
Kasey King. How long have you been drifting, man?
I've been drifting now for 5 years.
5 years. What was the first car you drifted?
First car I drifted was a 1987 MK3 Toyota Supra. It was blue and white, and at our first big event of the year called Driftoberfest, which we're at right now, I got asked to go out for one more lap at the end of the night, and I drove my car into the wall at 77 miles an hour.
Scare the shit out of you?
It was a wake-up call, but it was also kind of like a moment where I got to choose. Where I got to choose whether I was going to do it again, or whether I could fix it, or whether the whole theory of fixing things was in there to begin with. So, you know, you have to have some automotive inclination and ability to be able to support yourself when you're out at the events. And when you wad your car up into a wall, it kind of makes you consider everybody who can help you. So you get thrown right into the family through type of adversity like that. So from my first car, I got to meet a lot of my great friends because they helped rebuild everything with me. And, you know, I wouldn't trade those relationships for any pieces of this car. So, I mean, the car is a good product of having a great group of friends and support around. So that's one of the best parts about drifting, is just the community.
What got you into drifting?
I got into drifting because I liked off-road truck racing. Couldn't support the budget. And I wanted to do it on asphalt, and I wanted to do it faster. And one of my buddies named BJ brought me out to a track called PPIR, which is in southern Colorado, Pikes Peak International Raceway. And he introduced me to drifting, and that's when I took my Lexus GS 300 and I traded it for my MK3 Toyota Supra with a, you know, 1JZ motor in it, and R154 and open diff, and I came out and, you know, started making small improvements until I killed that car, and then I fully invested myself into a performance car and ended up getting an SC.
Okay, tell me a little bit more about this.
It's a 1992 Lexus SC 300. I don't know what it's missing. It's got a dog box, Jericho transmission, a spec twin plate clutch with a Willwood master. It's got a 2JZ GT engine with USDM cams, short runner cast manifold with a custom Turbo Smart 60mm wastegate on a manifold, a cast manifold that we rigged up. I'm running a Garrett GTX 3576R, which just blew my mind with what that turbocharger did with my car and the proper tune. That was a complete game changer for me. 1000cc injectors run ethanol. I have a rear mount radiator from CSF Radiator. Have had a lot of custom work done by Ronin Motorsports and a guy named Ryan Zielinski, who helped me out with my cooling system. A lot of dedicated work from one of my best friends, a guy named Frank Kandari, who is also my teammate in TC Drift and owns another SC300. I just got sponsored by Varstone Wheels, so I got some sweet wheels to run on the car. I got carbon fiber doors and a trunk lid that I don't use because I just like the Swiss cheese, the metal one, because it looks nicer and it does what it's told. And other than that, you know, I got a Power FC that's tuned by VIP Performance in Portland, Oregon, and that tune has worked in Seattle, in Las Vegas, and now in Colorado without any modification. And I know if he was here right now, he'd make it run it even better. And holy crap, been surprised, unreal. And I got lots of support from one of my best friends, a guy named Mark Bear, who runs SCR Performance. He lines my car, gets me set up, and also gives me advice. Because in this world, as a first-generation driver, it's hard to know where to find advice from people to be able to improve yourself. And being with a lot of guys that are your same age, it creates that same dynamic. They're looking for the answers too. So if you can find a guy who's just a few generations ahead of you that is doing it in even a different way, he can at least get you in alignment with the professional behaviors of being a quality driver and then being a professional off the track more so than anything.
What advice can you give to the new racers, the up and coming, the guys who want to buy a $1,000 Craigslist car and get into drifting? What's your advice to them?
My advice for a guy who wants to buy a budget build, absolutely do it. If you're interested in having fun at all, if you enjoy life, if you have a pulse, if you have a heart in your chest, you will love this more so than any roller coaster you've ever been on. This is the ride of a lifetime every time you go out. Because guess what? You never know when something crazy is going to happen. You deviate a tire, or you overheat your radiator, or you do this or that. It's always going to be different. And then you get to throw somebody in front of you, and you get to do it all with them, going through all the same struggles. So as a driver, you go against your car, yourself, and then the opponent. Pretty much in that order. If your car doesn't work, you can't really rely on yourself. If your car's okay, you can't rely on yourself. It doesn't matter what your competition's doing. And if you got all three of those in line, now you're set up to just be competitive.
All right, the last question we always ask all the guys we interview, all the gearheads, whether it be drag racing, circuit racing, time attack, was this all worth it? All the money, all the time, all the sweat, was this all worth it to you?
Absolutely. I wouldn't change a thing. Maybe try to get a few more sponsors and a bigger budget. That's about it. But this is a lifetime of pleasure. It's pure fun. And if you get out here and are interested in changing the way you think about what cars are doing, drift is a reason to just start trying it. If you're afraid of getting into road racing or anything because you think the budget's too big or everything's too hard, come out to the drift course. We're not going to deny anybody. We want to help everybody try to become better drivers and be more aware of how their vehicle is going to operate when they're driving it. Because all these skills come into play when you hit the highway. And one of these skills that you learn out on the racetrack might save your life on the highway. So. Interview time. See if I can do this.
All right.
I don't have any grit in my teeth, Dad.
No, dude, you're golden. Move, titties.
I don't have the brakes. I hit the gas. There's no way out. You gotta try to get the truck to pull.
I can't believe you tried to hit the gas.
Have you ever slid backwards down a snow hill?
Yeah.
In a truck? What do? You don't let out. You go for it.